Hello and welcome back to World 360. 64-year-old Ferdinand Marcos Jr., the son of former Philippine dictator Ferdinand Marcos, is all set to become Philippines' next president, replacing Rodrigo Duterte. Marcos Jr., also known as Bongbong, becoming president of the Philippines marks the return of one of the country's most prominent dynasties. In 1986, Bongbong's father was ousted by an army-backed popular uprising known as the People Power Revolution after he had placed the country under martial law in 1972 and effectively ushered in a dictatorship. During his rule, Marcos Sr. was accused of authorizing extrajudicial killings and torture of opponents, and the family allegedly plundered an estimated $10 billion of state wealth. The extravagant lifestyle led by Bongbong's mother, First Lady Imelda Marcos, provided a glimpse into the family's immense wealth, which they allegedly stole from their own people. This is detailed in a 2019 documentary film called The Kingmaker, which examines the controversial history of Imelda and her family, including the famous rumor that she owned 3,000 pairs of shoes. One look at the obituaries of Bongbong's father in 1989 shows what kind of legacy he left behind. Ferdinand E. Marcos, 72, who as ruler of the Philippines for more than 2 decades impoverished his country and came to personify corruption and greed in power, died yesterday at St. Francis Medical Center in Honolulu, read a Washington Post report from September 29, 1989. The former dictator had died 3 years after his ousting while in exile in Hawaii. A recent Reuters report also shows that the family are still defendants in at least 40 civil cases related to their wealth, and Marcos' mother is appealing her criminal conviction on 7 separate charges, each of which carries a maximum prison sentence of 11 years. The report further says, as president, Marcos would hold sway over the Presidential Commission on Good Government, which is devoted to investigating and recovering the Marcos family's wealth. So, how did Bongbong win the election with such a tainted family history? A recent Time magazine article suggests 2 factors. 1. Successive governments since the fall of the Marcos regime have failed to address basic social problems. And 2, around 56% of registered voters for this election were under 40, meaning that they either weren't born during the rule of Marcos Sr. or were too young to even remember it. That second point is important because a relatively young electorate sometimes calls for innovative electoral campaigns. For example, it has been widely reported that TikTok has helped Bongbong gain traction on social media. Let's look at this video uploaded by Buhangin Sailocos, one of the many pro-Bongbong TikTok users on the platform. It's a simple 23-second video that shows a young girl who plays a prank on Bongbong by pretending to want to take a picture with his son Sandro instead of him. The video received over 12.3 million views and Bongbong himself commented on it. A loose translation of his comment reads, "It was just a laugh, but I really thought she was going to come to me." Bongbong himself has a TikTok account from which he has posted several videos from his rallies. His last rally, held in the Isabela municipality, garnered over 4 million views. He has also used the platform to speak directly to his voters. It's also interesting to note that Bongbong has more followers on TikTok, about 1.6 million, than on Twitter, just about 1 million. Before we conclude, it's also important to note that Bongbong is not the only child of a dynast contesting in elections. Outgoing President Rodrigo Duterte's daughter, Sara, is also running for vice president and appears to be a frontrunner in the polls. Thank you so much for watching. This is Pia Kushankuti for ThePrint. Do subscribe to ThePrint and follow us on social media.